everybody, what's up? We're doing the first vlog of 2017. I don't really count the New Year's second half of that vlog being the first 2017 vlog. I never really do with New Year's because these are the first full-length vlogs, man. And so it's already been over 2 weeks. I want to vlog more. And I really don't want to fall into the last year's habits again. So I apologize for that, but we'll see how it goes. So there are things to talk about, Christmas decorations to still take down, and the Christmas tree, and pretty much everything else. And those lights above the kitchen will probably stay there year-round like they did last year. But then we also got this sloth, and this sloth is amazing. I have to turn on this light, which is back here behind the shelf. Don't ask why. And you can see this freaking sloth that my sister found at Walmart. Just wanted to address it. And it's amazing because they have all the Valentine stuff set out, and there were all these plushies, giant pandas and all, but there was one sloth. And so we bought the damn sloth. Best 20 bucks we have ever spent at a Walmart, hands down. And so, yeah. Now, in terms of X-Men, all of you guys want to know, where are the X-Men figures? That is the question of my YouTube career until I finish them, which is great to have, a great problem to have. So many people commenting and asking me where the damn X-Men figures are, because that means there are so many people that want to see a certain project that didn't get finished. And that's awesome. That's like I said, that's a really great problem to have. And so I'm working on the X-Men figures, and I've actually been making really good time. I'm hoping to have them all finished and showcased before the end of February, or maybe even sooner, because I've been making some really good progress knocking out these figures. I just finished Jean Grey, and I put up a whole poll on Twitter as to which hairpiece I should use, and I ended up ultimately going with this one, which is considered option number A. I almost said option number A. Option A. And I honestly prefer this hairpiece because it's a little bit more accurate with the way the hair comes down. If you watch the final scene of X-Men Apocalypse, and so I decided I'd stick with this one, and thankfully a lot of people on Twitter seem to agree. So yeah, and you can see I pretty much finished Jean Grey. Unfortunately, there's a very severe lack of reference with the X-Men Apocalypse suits, and so everything on her back, this is not accurate, but it works. And yeah, so I kind of just winged that design, but I also finished Magneto, and thankfully he's accurate though, because there's plenty of reference for his costume. I finished Quicksilver, no idea if his back is accurate, probably not. And then I also finished Professor X, who was actually already done before I stopped working on the X-Men figures, and so was Psylocke. And then also, I finished Cyclops as well. So I finished Cyclops, Jean Grey, Magneto, and Quicksilver all within the past 2 weeks, which has been a really great time. That's 4 out of the 10 figures down and finished, even though I already had progress on them from last year. But now it's really just about finishing up Nightcrawler, Storm, Mystique, and Apocalypse back here. And I was just working on Storm actually this morning while rewatching Luke Cage. I started to rewatch that series, yeah, so I pretty much finished. I painted her face back in 2016. I did her torso and all that stuff. So I just have been working on her arms, and I also made her a new cape recently. So yeah, they're going great. They're gonna look pretty awesome, man. And thankfully, it's just really a lot of painting work from here on out until I finish them. And so yeah, just those 4 back there. Thankfully, the difficult work on Apocalypse was mainly already done, and just really a ton of painting on the back of him left, because I do have to continue this pattern you see on his torso. You can see it right, I don't even know what, it's kind of like an Egyptian pattern, I guess, sort of like just basically the pattern on his armor does have to continue onto the back, and so that's going to be time consuming and complicated, because it definitely was the first time I painted it last year. So yeah, X-Men, that's that. Thankfully, you guys, who do watch MGF Extra know what's happening with those figures, but to those of you guys, I found out the hard way that a lot of people don't watch MGF Extra, but you guys that do, get to know these things, because my god, so many comment sections filled with where are X-Men, where are the X-Men Apocalypse figures, and again, great problem to have. That's awesome. So yeah, we're sticking to the plan, committed to doing Doctor Strange and Rogue One, and then this year I would circle back around to finally finish X-Men. And it would be the last delay on those figures, because, oh my god. Yeah, craziness. Okay, so 2017 sets. That's something I thought these first 2 weeks of the year would be filled with, was reviewing new sets. And then I forgot that last year LEGO released like only half of the Star Wars sets, And then I was like, dude, sorry, I zoomed in. I was like, dude, why? And then, you know, so we only got to review a portion of them. The Battlefront battle packs didn't come out or any of that stuff. And then it's only gotten worse this year because now LEGO hasn't released any sets for licensed brands, which is great for people who collect Ninjago. And like, I don't know. The modular building, I'm guessing there are a few. I mean, you had the Lego Batman movie sets all come out. So, I mean, there was that. I'm not reviewing those, though. I might review one of them that caught my eye. But, I mean, that's just way too many sets to even try to review. So, yeah. Now, obviously in Europe, I should mention, all of you guys got the sets, and this is no problem for you. You have all the sets over there, which is fantastic. I don't have a European hookup, so I'm just gonna have to wait till the freaking street date like everybody else, March 1st, which is when we get them here in the US, which kind of sucks, because I'm pretty sure everyone and their dog will have seen all the new sets by March 1st. So if you haven't already, so I really don't see the point in reviewing them. As much as I wanted to review the new battle packs, the freaking Thrawn set and a few others, the Scarif set. I mean, by the time March 1st rolls around, I'll be so neck deep in getting started on Guardians figures and making Logan from, you know, the Hugh Jackman's final Wolverine movie. I don't see the time. I don't see the point. And it really sucks because I wanted to really pick up the pace on reviews, and it's like, yeah, if LEGO actually releases them in the US. So it's a pain, man. I forgot about that. I didn't think it would get worse this year, and it has. January 1st releases just aren't a thing anymore. So it is what it is, and I can only do my best to work around it, unfortunately. But something that is actually pretty awesome. Let's turn off some lights here. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 sets leaked, and my buddy Andy, Delta Customs, posted them on his Instagram, and they're pretty freaking awesome looking, aside from the fact that the Milano is smaller and stubby looking. And I mean, these builds, I'm sure, are probably straight from the movie in these other two smaller sets, but I just don't really see how these sets, you know, are stronger than the first movie's wave of sets. I feel like the first trio of sets from, you know, Guardians in 2014 was a little bit better. But the minifigures thankfully look freaking fantastic, which is great. It's just, I don't think an entire wave of sets should have to be held up by the minifigures, which is kind of awkward, right? Because I'm the minifigure guy, I should be I should be jumping up and down to the minifigures look great. It's just for other people who, you know, are out to get great sets, I just kind of feel bad that these don't really look as strong. I mean, you get some cool Ravagers. I mean, it's just, I feel like this is mostly people are gonna mostly buy these for the minifigures, and then people will probably buy the Milano set because they missed out on the first one, which is kind of unfortunate because the newer Milano is smaller and pudgier, like I mentioned. It just doesn't, I mean, you got this thing, like the freaking Sarlacc pit that we saw in the first teaser, but I mean, yeah, Guardians 2 sets, man, there they are. And Micro Groot got his own picture too. Check that out. Look at that. Pretty awesome. And I honestly say that because I was expecting a micro figure, like a trophy figure. And it turns out LEGO's actually, they made a new mold, a new piece, not perfect, not great. But I mean, like I said, for somebody like me who was expecting a damn trophy figure, that's not bad. Yes, the color scheme's off. But I mean, I don't really see LEGO doing too much else with their current color palette. So I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. And the Guardian sets I just wish were a little bit stronger in terms of the builds. And I really got to work on this whole zooming in and out thing after zooming in on my computer. So, yeah, but in terms of the Defenders, like I mentioned Luke Cage a little bit earlier, the Defenders cast did a whole little photo shoot with Entertainment Weekly, which is great. It's just, the more I thought about it, I was like, wow, I really want to make Defenders figures. I've been planning on making the Defenders ever since Daredevil Season 1 back in like April of 2015. You know, one day making the Defenders when they finally assemble, and that's this year already. Holy crap. But I'm pretty sure the Defenders is dropping in like May, dude. So, you know what else is in May? Guardians 2. You know what is right after May? In June, Wonder Woman. Right after that, in July, Spider-Man Homecoming. And then after that's the only real break in between that and then Justice League and Thor Ragnarok, which I'll probably just get straight to work on anyway, because that's two big showcases in the same freaking month. So basically what I'm saying is, I don't see Defenders fitting in anywhere. I mean, as much as I want to make them, I really got to figure out where I'm going to fit in those four, because I think it'd be a great showcase for 2017. It's kind of a flag planted in 2017, is them finally assembling. So I don't know, we'll see. It's just the problem is, I'm sure Iron Fist will get his costume by the end of Season 1, which is coming out in a couple months, I think. And you know, of course, Daredevil, I'm sure will have an upgrade to his suit. But it's like, they don't reveal those things until the actual season drops, and so I won't be able to make them until afterwards anyway. Not that I would have been able to make them as soon as it came out to begin with, but it's just kind of a pain, man, because I really want to make the Defenders, and we'll see if I can fit them in. But yeah, and so 2016 video, to those of you really hardcore fans of the channel, I'm working on that as kind of like a side project now, because if you don't know, at the end of 2016, obviously Rogue One, then immediately after that, a week later Christmas, and then immediately after that, got sick with the flu, and then right after that we had snow, and just all these things piling up that really have just kind of prevented me from working on the 2016 montage. Not that anyone cares but me, and that's kind of the whole point. I make it as sort of a recap for all this work I do on these minifigures each and every year, because I mean, all the work, all the time and effort that goes into every single one of these minifigures, I think warrants, a video, a montage, kind of celebrating the achievement of it all. And as egotistical and as self-centered as all of that sounds, it's just kind of like a thing that I like to do at the end of the year, regardless of if it's late or not. And in this case, this is the first time in God knows how many years I'm actually late with it. But I mean, it's still a video I want to finish. It's a great, way to recap all the work that I did in the previous year. And unfortunately, though, this year it was incredibly late. And I'm hoping to at least get the damn video done and posted by like the end of this month, because I mean, I still have a decent chunk of work to do on it, a lot of text to put in. Thankfully most of the editing is done, but I still got to go through all bloopers and skits and stuff to put in the best of at the end of the video, or like kind of like this, it's kind of makes up the second half of the video, to be honest. So yeah, dudes, I think that pretty much covers a lot of the things. I'm going to be at Celebration with Joe 111 LEGO Reviews, or Brick Reviews 111, and that's going to be happening in April. I'll probably be mentioning that in, every other vlog leading up to that, because that's going to be crazy. But in terms of things to talk about, I think that was all of them. And yeah, I'm going to go. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye!